Hello and welcome to the Healthy Bites channel. Today we are going to tell you about the brown bread deception. Please like and subscribe to get the word out to more people. Did you know that some brown breads in supermarkets are just dyed white breads? It's a shocking revelation, isn't it? The bread aisle in your local supermarket might be filled with more deception than you ever imagined. It seems that the warm, inviting color of brown bread, often associated with whole grains and health benefits, is sometimes nothing more than a facade. Yes, you heard it right. Some manufacturers have been pulling the wool over our eyes using dyes and other sneaky ingredients to turn plain white bread into what appears to be the healthier brown alternative. It's a clever trick, creating a false impression of healthiness, and it has fooled many of us into thinking we're making a better choice for our diets. So now that we've uncovered this brown bread deception, you're probably wondering, so, what are these sneaky ingredients that give white bread a healthful brown hue? Let's find out. You might be shocked to learn that a common ingredient used to darken bread is caramel color. Yes, you heard it right. The same caramel color that's used in soft drinks and a variety of processed foods. Let's delve into this a bit further. Caramel color is a water-soluble food coloring. It's made by heating and caramelizing sugars. While it adds a rich brown hue to the bread, it doesn't contribute anything in terms of nutritional value. It's purely cosmetic. Next up, we have molasses. This is a byproduct of sugar production and is often used in bread to give it a darker color and a slightly sweet taste. But don't be fooled. While molasses does contain some vitamins and minerals, the amount used in bread is usually quite small, so the nutritional impact is negligible. Then there's cocoa powder. Now you might be thinking, cocoa in bread? But it's true. Some manufacturers use a small amount of cocoa powder to darken their bread. Again, while cocoa does have health benefits, the amount used in bread is typically so minuscule that it doesn't significantly contribute to your daily nutritional intake. Lastly, we have wheat flour. Now this might sound like a healthy ingredient, but it's not as wholesome as you might think. You see, wheat flour can be highly processed and stripped of its nutrients, just like white flour. Some manufacturers then dye this processed flour brown and label it as wheat bread. But in reality, it's not much different from white bread. So there you have it. These are some of the usual suspects that are used to turn white bread into brown bread. All of them add color, but none of them significantly increase the bread's nutritional value. It's a clear case of looks can be deceiving. But it's not just about the ingredients that are used to dye the bread. The process itself is also quite interesting. And we'll dive into that in the next segment. Stay tuned. The process to transform white bread into brown bread is simpler than you might think. It's all about illusion, a sleight of hand in the bakery world. Just as a magician may use a bit of smoke and mirrors to distract you, bread manufacturers often employ a similar tactic. The first step in this culinary chicanery is to take the standard white bread dough. This dough is usually made from refined wheat flour, which has been stripped of its nutrient-rich bran and germ, leaving only the starchy endosperm. This results in a flour that's lighter in color and texture, but also significantly less nutritious. Now, here's where the magic happens. To mimic the appearance of wholesome, nutrient-dense brown bread, certain ingredients are introduced into the mix. These can include caramel color, molasses, or even cocoa powder. These ingredients have a dual purpose. Not only do they darken the dough, but they also lend a slightly different flavor profile, furthering the illusion of a whole grain product. In some cases, these colorants may be mixed directly into the dough. In others, they may be sprayed onto the crust just before baking. This creates a rich, dark exterior that closely resembles the crust of genuine brown bread. But the deception doesn't stop there. Some manufacturers also add in a handful of whole grains or bran to their white bread recipe. This creates the illusion of a bread that's bursting with whole grain goodness. But don't be fooled. The amount used is usually negligible and does little to increase the nutritional value of the bread. And there you have it. With a few simple tricks, a loaf of ordinary white bread is transformed into something that appears far more wholesome and nutritious. The result? A product that sells better thanks to the health-conscious consumer believing they are making a smarter choice. The question then becomes, how can you avoid falling for this trick? The key to being a savvy bread shopper is knowing what to look for on the ingredient list. So let's dive into the specifics on how to identify real brown bread from dyed white bread. First and foremost, the primary thing you should be looking for is the term whole. Whole grain or 100% whole wheat should be the first ingredient listed. This signifies that the entire grain, including the bran, germ, and endosperm, is used in making the bread. Bread made with whole grains is a great source of fiber and other essential nutrients. Now, let's talk about what to avoid. If you see caramel color listed in the ingredients, that's a red flag. This substance is often used to darken foods and can be found in many types of brown bread that are just white bread in disguise. It's just a cosmetic enhancement and adds no nutritional value. Other words to look out for are enriched wheat flour and bleached flour. These terms indicate that the bread is made from refined grains which have been stripped of the bran and germ, leaving only the endosperm. This process removes many of the nutrients and fiber found in whole grains. Similarly, avoid breads that list sugar or high fructose corn syrup early in the ingredients list. These are often added to bread to improve its taste, but they add unnecessary calories and can lead to health problems if consumed in excess. Remember, the order of ingredients matters. Ingredients are listed in order of weight, from the greatest amount to the least. So, if whole grains are listed first, that's a good sign. But if they're listed after several other ingredients, you may want to reconsider your choice. In conclusion, don't be fooled by the color of the bread or fancy packaging claims. Your best bet is to go straight to the ingredient list. You have the power to make smarter choices when it comes to the bread you consume. Be bread smart and let your health thank you for it. So, next time you're in the bread aisle, remember what you've learned today. The world of bread isn't always as wholesome as it seems. Some brown breads masquerading as the healthier choice are merely white breads in disguise, dyed to trick our eyes and our bodies. This deception is facilitated by a cocktail of ingredients: caramel coloring, cocoa, or molasses, to name a few. The process of this deception is a simple one, yet its implications on our health can be profound. But don't despair. Knowledge is your greatest weapon in the battle for better bread. By understanding the tricks of the trade, you can make informed decisions, ensuring that the bread you bring home is truly the bread you intended to buy. Remember, the choice is always yours. Make it a wise one. With the power of knowledge, you can transform your shopping experience and ultimately, your health. Let's keep our bread baskets honest and our bodies nourished. Thanks for watching.